In this lesson, we'll learn how to send and retrieve the web data using the popular requests library. Because requests library is not a part of a standard Python library, we'll need to install it. In the majority of cases, you'll be using the pip3 official package manager. Okay, so here we have a main method, which we are about to complete, and a print results method, which we'll use to, print results. So we already have pre-populated results for the status code, headers, and content itself. Let's start with importing the requests library. For this lesson, we'll use a resource called http://bin.org. We will be sending our requests to this resource and we will be getting some data back. But first, we need to specify the URL we want to access. So this is going to be our endpoint that will get some XML in response. And of course, to get the data from this URL in XML format, we need to use the get method. We are passing our URL as an argument to this get method, and we are saving the result in the variable called res. And as you can see in the print results method, that was already pre-populated to return the status code, the headers, and the content. Let's run the code. So the output in the console shows us the status code, which is 200, good. Some headers, and the content of the page is returned in byte format. So you can notice this little letter B. This is because we've used the content property, but we can use the text property as well. That will make the content be decoded in the plain text format. So let's do it. Let's change the content property to the text property and run the code again. In essence, we'll see the same content, but this time presented in the more readable text form. Now you can see the data is nicely separated. We can spot opening and closing tags and so on. So it looks great. All right, so let's do something a tiny bit more advanced and use this requests library to send a request with some parameters. So this is going to be the get request as well, but this time we'll change the endpoint to the one that expects some parameters and we'll just echo back with some data. Okay, so the URL is going to be http://bin.org/get this time. And let me define a dictionary with parameters we're going to send along with our request. So I'll call the dictionary data vals, and it's going to contain some key value pairs. So let's say I want 2 pairs. So the first one will be key 1 for the key, and the value is going to be, let's promote our channel. So Aave, and the second pair is key 2, and the value is coda. And below that dictionary, I need to form another request. So let's call it res get, or better, get res. Let's be consistent. And it's going to be a request.get method as well. But this time we will pass not only the URL, but also the dictionary. And because we use the requests library, we won't need to encode it anyhow. So we just pass it as the value to the params parameter. And then we just print the results. Okay, so let me comment out the previous block of code, the previous request, and let me run the code. Actually, let me change that plain print statement to, let's say, the call to the print results function. That is going to bring the results. We'll see the headers, we'll see the status code, and we'll also see the data. As you can see, the first block is the dictionary, the keys and the values we've sent to the endpoint. All right, so this was a demo of how the plain and parameterized GET requests work in the requests library in Python.